Hello and welcome to Daisies and Dragons, the best damn TTRPG show on the planet. Today, we are playing Call of Cthulhu, I believe for the first time on this channel. My name is Rajib Kalita, and I am going to be your keeper of Arcane. I have short cropped hair, a very shaggy beard. I am wearing a black kurta, which is in a traditional Assamese design. And I have a gamusa around my neck, which is again a very beloved cultural artifact of Assamese people. We just had Bihu a few days back. So yeah, I suppose. So over the next 4 weeks, hopefully, we are going to be running Cup of Sorrow, a homebrew Call of Cthulhu adventure, which is set in a tea estate in early 20th century Assam under British colonial rule. I say hopefully because we are playing Call of Cthulhu, where life is cheap, insanity is lurking just around the corner, and death is but sweet release. Bad things can and will happen, which is why we have discussed our boundaries and lines and veils and things of that sort in our session 0 already. But for our dear viewers and listeners, the following are the content warnings for this particular adventure. There are depictions of mental illness and mental health issues, violence / gore, cults, systemic social oppression, and indentured servitude and enslavement. There is also going to be references to violence against children, elders, animals, and mental abuse. So with that out of the way, I will pass the proverbial microphone and let an amazing bunch of players take the stage and introduce themselves. I will start with the one who is closest to me on my screen, and that is Alika.
Oh, it's me. I'm closest on the screen. Hello, everyone. I'm Alika. You may have seen me before on some of the shows, or you may not have. That's fine too. I'll be playing a character. Do I introduce my character or just myself? I don't know. How is this going?
If you want, you can do very
Yeah,
do
let's
it
just
briefly.
introduce the name. Let's just introduce the name. I'm Alika. She, her pronouns mostly, but you can use whatever. I don't care. I am currently wearing some very nice green specs. And what is this called? A Bundy jacket? It's called a Bundy jacket. It's super hot, guys. I might have to take this off halfway. I'm sorry. It's not a weird thing I'm doing. It's just really hot. Yes, it's because I'm trying to get into character. I'll be playing Biswanath Bhattacharya. I think that's his name. Yes, it is his name. A scientist ready to solve some mysteries and get into lots of trouble. I hope that's it. Oh, should I say my socials? I'm at Cape Fox Alex on Twitter and Instagram. That's it. Okay.
All right, passing the mic to Val.
Hi everyone, I'm Valiant Dorian. I use him, his pronouns. You can find me all around the internet at Valiant Dorian or at also Spirit Bear. Please enjoy that lovely treasure hunt I just sent you on. And tonight I have the distinct pleasure of playing Bharat, who has been deemed dangerous by the GM in our rap sheet. And I will be wearing that as a badge of honor for the entirety of our show tonight. Yeah. Oh, I should mention how I look like. I am a Daisy trans mask. A man. I have a mess of black hair. I wear round turtle shell glasses and a simple black shirt because it's really hot today. I really wanted to wear a kurta, but it's really hot today. Maybe next week.
All right, how about Chao?
Hello, I am Chao Noi. My pronouns are they, them. I am also from Assam in Western Southeast Asia or Northeast India, however you like to call it, depending on your politics. Yeah. So anyway, we're going there. R3. I also am like I look quote unquote Southeast Asian or South Asian, however you want to put it. I have long hair. I have a little bit of a ponytail. I wear round spectacles, Harry Potter style. And then I'm wearing a floral, sort of a blue shirt. And I have 3 rings that I think are very pretty, but I don't know. So that's primarily my description. I am going to be playing this character called Nong Khun. And they are an aspiring journalist in the early 20th century of Assam. Nong Khun is a Thai home word, which is my community, my real life community, and that word means like vaguely translates to pawned prince. So that's what my name means. So I'm very excited to see how it all goes, and thank you so much for having me.
POND pond, right?
Uh,
Yeah.
POND, yes, pawn.
Just to make sure. All right. All right. Finally, last but not the least, Poorna.
Hi, everyone. My name is Poorna M. You can find me on Twitter as @Poorna Mazumdar. My pronouns are she, her. I'm also wearing a blue floral kurta, or let's say it is a kurta because you can't see the rest of me. And I am going to be playing a woman who is older than I am in real life, called Bani Saha, and she has a lot to say to everyone about everything, but hopefully also about mysterious happenings that Rajib is going to tell us about soon.
Right. Amazing. Right. I think I forgot to mention my pronouns. They are he, him. And yeah, I think we are ready to go. So let us begin. The steady muffled clatter of horses' hooves on the dirt road linger as the cart that you are in makes its way up and down a spectacular vista of lush forests and blue mountains in the distance. It is the rainy season and nature is in full bloom. A stream gushes and swirls next to the road. You smell fresh leaves all around you. Chao, your character is in the cart along with a few other people. Would you like to now go into more details about what your character looks like and what they're doing?
Yes. So my character, Nong is basically on the cart at the back wagon. It's like a Skyrim kind of an opening, and they are sort of looking at all the other people that are there. Although not all of us are like bounded physically at the very least. So we are going through the lush sort of tea gardens and such. What's on Nong mind is the fact that they haven't really been to a tea estate in like ages, because like tea estates are generally very this kind of reserved areas where like, okay, it's like you either go to the tea estate because you're a sahib or you are a laborer there. So and it's not really a place that other people who are not really part of the profession sort of visit. So they're very excited, and they're because they've heard a lot of it, and like want to figure out as to what is happening and all. They look generally sort of again Southeast Asian sort of features. They are short in build. They are wearing a very plain sort of a cotton shirt and like trousers, and they also have a ponytail. They are smoking a bidi as they are going about prancing around the whole place, and they're looking at around and taking in the visuals and all. And they are primarily here because their editor, sorry, full. So they work as a journalist for a daily, and the editor has heard some had got some missive about certain things happening in the tea garden, and Nong has been sent to investigate and write a report or something for the newspaper. So that's what they are primarily thinking about, and how to sort of piece together all of those things that they are there. Yeah.
Right. The people that are traveling alongside you in the cart, if you have tried to communicate with them really open, because I'm sure as you are here as a reporter, you would like to find out things as soon as possible. But if you had tried to open a line of communication with them, it wouldn't have been really successful so far. They seem very tired. They seem of the laborer class. Just by looking at them, you can make that out. Of course, none of them are sahibs, and it hasn't really been a fruitful endeavor trying to like having get them to open up. Eventually, the dirt path that you're traveling on, it gives way to uneven cobblestones. You see first signs of civilization after traveling on this cart for days up and down these rolling hills across these dense forests. What you see in front of you is this large iron gate that emerges from the mist like a gravestone. The weather, it's the rainy season. The clouds are over, the sky is overcast. It is dim, it is muddy, it is that grayish tone everywhere. So from out of that emerges this iron gate. It is topped by a sign that is also crafted from iron letters that says "Welcome to Bornodi Tea Estate." It does not look very welcoming. The driver gets down from the cart, goes up to the gate, and grunting with effort, they push it open, and it creaks open like the maw of a great beast. The carriage continues on for a few hundred miles, for a few hundred feet before stopping, and this is as far as the cart will go. As you dismount from the vehicle and collect your things, you see a crossroad ahead of you. The owner's bungalow is to the left, and the workers' village is to the right. Other than that, as far as the eye can see, there are tea gardens that rise and fall like emerald waves, like to all the way up to the horizon. The people who came with you, they disperse quickly. They don't really linger there. The ground is wet and squelchy beneath your feet. There is some mud, some gravel, all mixed there. And as soon as you get down, a light drizzle, it starts, as I suppose you and I are familiar with. So as you get down, you see that there is a person who is at the crossroad, accompanied by two other people, but this person does hold your attention. Uh, they are this kind of short, stocky man with wearing this tailcoat with a bow tie and everything, looks very prim and proper. As you get down and everyone else disperses, it's just you standing there. This person approaches you. Greetings. If I may inquire as to your name and your purpose here. He looks you up and down for a bit. Before that, what is your credit rating, if I may ask, on your character?
Uh, it's not that great. Wait, just give me 1 second because I have to find it. Wait,
He's
it's
basically looking
on.
at you appraisingly, up and
Ah,
looking you up and down.
yes, understood. So it's on a skills tab, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, Load 20 is not loading up the screen. But I think it was not that great, but it was decent enough as far as I remember.
Yeah, I mean, a young journalist is not likely to have a very. I
Yeah,
would
it's,
assume
it's possible. It's possible.
it's 15, which is not so great. So yeah, they
Yeah,
do
lovely.
not attest a suffix to their address
Hmm.
to you. Yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah, they are looking at you questioningly.
Hmm. So basically I then look into my bag. I extend my hand out. It's like hello, and then on the one hand, as I'm extending my hand out for like handshake, I'm also rummaging through the other hands for some papers and all. And like,
Right,
are
right,
they
right.
taking my hand for a shake? Are they shaking my hand or not?
No, he is almost like in a
Okay.
Savdhan position,
Oh, lovely,
and still
lovely,
have this
lovely
questioning
folks.
look. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so I sort of go there and I see that the person is not responding. Then I look for more documents and I'm like, I take out the paper and basically it's not really a like a form like a authorizing letter or whatever. It's just like a letter of like whomever it may be concerned kind of a thing where like my letter from the editor is like okay,
yeah.
that person
Right, right.
just come and like blah blah blah. So I just showed it to him. It's like, yeah, I'm a reporter for the Daily Tribune, and I have come here to sort of hear that there are some. I've come here to actually there's something about your tea products. I'm just collecting data on what is happening across all the tea states in Assam in terms of like how their production value is and all of that, and all the technical stuff basically. Like what are the yields right now, what are the teeth, what are the plants that we should be cultivating. It's a very drab report that I have to make for a newspaper. So I'm just here to sort of look into all of this.
Do
So I
you
just give him that sort of an idea.
The spiel. Do you have your character sheet open yet? Because I would like you to make a fast
Yes.
talk roll. In the meantime, he takes the letter out of you. He kind of like flicks it a bit, and then he starts reading it. But I will have you do a fast talk roll.
Yeah. So I'm rolling on Google. Okay. Is that fine?
Yeah. I can see your sheet. I can tell you your fast talk is 75, which is pretty
Yeah,
good.
75.
Good chance of success.
So it's an 8. So
Okay.
Whoa.
no.
Isn't that an extreme success?
8 on a
Yeah,
200 is
critical
definitely going to be.
success.
Yeah, this is going to be an
Whoa.
extreme success, not critical, but extreme success,
Extreme success.
which is great.
What a good way to start.
So he is reading the letter, to whom it may concern letter, and he is like nodding to you as you speak, and he clears his throat a little bit. I see. Mr. Nong Khun, is that how you say your name?
Yeah, it's the nga is pronounced a little bit prominent, Nong Khun, but I think it's
Nong.
fair. I mean,
Nang,
Yeah,
Nong.
Nong.
Yeah. Right. Sorry. Yes, you can have this back. My name is Comerford. I oversee the household of Sir Billingsley. I'm afraid I was expecting the local constabulary here. But I suppose that the local constabulary there has been an incident, and I have a feeling that Lord Billingsley would like to talk to you. Do not be afraid. You do not have anything to worry about. You are here on a certain project, as you say, a mission, but you might find this quite enticing as well. There has been an incident that my master might need your help with. So, if you would please accompany me to the bungalow.
I mean, as an acquaintance with the great Lord Billingsley would be. So I mean, it's a great opportunity that I would not like to pass up. But I was just thinking, I mean, the rains are pretty right now, right? So I was just thinking if I could have a look around the garden, because I am on a time crunch and my editor does not like me. I really have to sort of go in and.
Believe me, sir,
Okay, so
we
you're
are in the time crunch that you speak of. It is far harsher for us, the situation that we are going through right now. So, if you would please, sir, I have to insist. And you see the two people who were behind, who were quite like indistinct until now, but you see that they seem physically what do you call it? Prominent. And they both take a step forward. They are not really wearing any uniform, but they are wearing tight-fitting clothes. You can see some bulges of muscles from under there, and they're taking a step forward. Comerford is not really the way he's speaking. He's still kind of pleading with you, but his words are saying, like, his tone is different, but his words are saying a different story.
Okay. That. I presume I don't have a choice, really, do I?
It is a matter of urgency, sir.
Okay, big words. Yes, sir, then I would be very glad to meet Lord Billingsley and please lead the way. If that's the mission, then I'm going to the Billingsley. I've decided. And I'm just looking around, seeing the sizing of the people, the two sort of burly bouncers that are behind him. So are they locals or are they also Englishmen?
The two, Comerford is obviously a white person. Two burly bouncers, BBs, they are Daisies. They are local, yes.
Okay.
But not necessarily from. Like, they are local.
Yeah, understand.
Okay. So, Comerford leads you up this path, which is to the left. It goes up a slope, and again, both sides you can still see those gardens. The two barley bouncers, they position themselves behind you as you make your way up. In the meantime, Professor Biswanath, you are in a greenhouse that is up a small hill. You can in fact see the bungalow, the Billingsley bungalow from the greenhouse. Greenhouse, transparent, so you can see right from where you are. But it is like kind of down a slope than up a hill, so it takes still takes a few minutes on foot. You are exploring the possibility of using the unused garden land for a certain cultivation, a different kind of cultivation at the behest of the provincial government. But you have been having some troubles. The plants, they just refuse to grow in pots. I mean, they grow vigorously on the ground, but the same exact soil put into pots just somehow does not provide the same results. You have like done your analysis of the soil. You have sent some samples out for like even like further, I don't know, spectroscopy existed then, but yeah, something of that sort of the time. The reports have always been inconclusive. There is nothing that is so it is a mystery that has been vexing you, particularly since you have gotten a letter recently from your supervisor, your professor, right? The what was his name? Your head of the department, basically, inquiring as to the progress of your studies. With that came a note from another person who is a colleague of yours, and it seemed to elucidate their own progress in their field of study, and it seems to be substantially more than what you have been doing. So it has been a little bit vexing, to say the least. However, as you are struggling with continuing with your research, continuing with your problem that you're facing here, you hear footsteps behind you, and you see that it is this person that you have met before. You have spoken with him before. His name is Nolin Bordoloy. He is the supervisor. Nolin Bordoloy, yes. An Assamese person, but like as he approaches you, you see that he is dressed in this like black coat and pants. He has a bowler hat. It seems like with your in your interactions with him, it seems like he is trying to fashion himself an Englishman. He fancies himself an Englishman, but then yeah, what can you do? So he walks. He walks up to you and he says, Dr. Bhattacharya, old chap, yes, how is your research going this morning?
Oh, terrible. I seem to have gotten nowhere. All these days of... There's absolutely nothing wrong with this soil sample that I can tell. Maybe it's a clay. Maybe I should go and check for the clay. Maybe I should get a different type of clay. But that does not make sense. Their roots won't even reach that far. Flexing. And worst of it, I don't know if I should tell you. I will tell you in good confidence.
Oh yes, you have my absolute confidence.
I have just received a letter from my old dear colleague. I don't know if I've talked about him to you, but his name is Ashish Vrindavan. Also, esteemed professor, very highly educated in his field. Most insufferable person that I've ever had misfortune of working. Simply cannot stop boasting about his achievements. I fear that I'm going to get left behind again as he advances in his field.
I see.
There are more things to be done over here. I cannot be stuck thinking about him the entire time.
Right. Yes, I almost forgot to tell you. I am here specifically to talk to you about something. Dr. Mr. Billingsley, he has asked for your presence at the bar. There apparently is a matter of urgent importance.
Oh dear, what is this? I hope I have not given him any dissatisfaction in my work.
I don't to know what the reason for this is, but it seemed quite urgent. And yes, as much as I appreciate your honesty in speaking with me, we are chums. Yes, I do understand that. But you might be, I dare say, you might be a little reserved when you talk about your findings, your results. Perhaps boast of your achievements more, like your friend.
Me, I'm certainly able. I wouldn't call it boasting. It's just stating the facts. I wouldn't want to exaggerate my achievement. That's just crass. I mean, it's not like the Royal Society of Botanist Chao.
But as you know, the research that you're doing, I'm kind of in charge of it. I am kind of sponsor for it. So the better results you get, the better you're paid. I am as well. So maybe embellish your findings just a little bit when you are speaking to Lord Billings.
A jolly good idea. I think that I shall take your advice. Now we must go and
splendid.
Meet.
Yes, I can take you there. I do not mind at all accompanying you to the bungalow. Oh. Please.
Thank you so much. Let's be off.
Right. So you are on your way as well to the bungalow. Now, the proverbial camera, so to speak, pans away rapidly until it comes to rest about a mile or so from where all of this was happening to the workers' village, which is also called the Coolie Lines. Quite a change of scenery in contrast to the colorful tea gardens. And I mean, you guys are not at the bungalow yet, but yes, in contrast to all of that, all the life seems to have been drained out of this particular place. There is like muck and squalor everywhere. The village itself, it consists of 40 or so thatched huts, which are like basically there's a great peepal tree in the center, and all of these huts radiate out from them. All of the huts have this very specific company mandated design, very boring, about 10 feet by 15 feet. And you know that entire families, sometimes with like 10, 12, 15 people, they have to live within those like confined spaces. However, right now, Bharat and Bani, both of you are at the local tea stall, which is at the village. You know that the same place also doubles as Daruka Theka, like a local liquor store in the evenings. But for now, in these hours of the morning, it functions as a tea stall. You have your steaming cups of tea in your hands. Yeah, would you like to describe your characters? As you sit down with your tea on these like outdoor benches.
Sure. So Bani Saha is a large woman who is shorter than most people she knows. Here in the Coolie Lines, she is laughing, having a great time as much as you can when you are, under colonial rule. And so having a good time, chatting with her friends, enjoying some peace and quiet, having worked for a while at the Billingsley estate, she really cherishes her time away from it. And she is wearing an old cotton sari. She has usually her hair up in a bun, and when she goes towards the estate, normally has a very stern expression of face. But right now, she is with her friend, Bharat Dada. Bharat Dada, over to you.
Bharat Dada, who is sat across from Bani, is he's smiling as well. There's a cheerful expression between sessions of chewing tobacco. And you see that Bharat is a deep, dark brown skinned man with noticeable eye bags, and is disheveled, messy. He wears a cotton shirt that's a little too tight, a little torn around the edges. There might be a knife close to his waist, tucked away. And he has a disheveled, rugged beard and a bandana he wears around his neck. And Bharat is he just helps the community.
Mhm.
You know, he's there to support the community and make sure that his boss's interests are maintained. Means he's a gangster. In case anyone doesn't figure that out.
In case it needs to be clear.
Just in case. And he and Bani have this excellent rapport
Rapport.
between each other. And he just like chuckles and says, so what's new? Anything new over in your Saibwala's estate or
Arey, Bharat Dada, what to tell you? These, oh my God, this child is. The child is actually not the problem. The child is fine. The child is a child.
usually when
know,
they become older, that's when they're the
That
problem.
is when the problem starts,
Mm.
Correct. But this is the problem that, these random other English people in the house, some of them, same thing they're doing as me. Okay. Same thing they're doing. They're also working for the SAP. I'm also working for the SAP. Why they think they're so much better? Every day you meet them, something they'll say which is really,
Buddy, why you have to work there? I mean, boss has already offered places for us. He's got kids. Don't have to work for the Englishman.
sometimes it is safer and sometimes it is. I have to admit my quarters are quite comfortable and sometimes I fall asleep accidentally in the children's nursery way better than any house I've ever had myself. But there are perks. I'm not denying it. It's just a lot of the people that I have to deal with is too much.
I mean,
Anyway, but
So, I mean, you slipped away out from the bungalow in the morning because you knew that Bharat was coming today. So, and you were having this nice conversation. There are not a lot of people around because this is work time. Most of the villagers are out in the tea estate, out in the fields, doing the work in the factory and everything. So there's a smattering of people at the tea stall. But then, as you are in this conversation, you hear a bit of commotion, and as you turn around, you see like the few people who are there at the tea stall. They kind of make way for this man to stride forward. This like oak of a man, like tall, bald head, like literally built like an oak tree. Of course, Bani, you know this man. His name is Hagrama. He is the chief of security, so to speak. He heads the guards, all of the guards who are there in the estate, whether taking care of the estate itself or the bungalow. He heads all of them. Bharat, you are perhaps you are also tangentially. I mean, you are aware of him for sure. You might not have actually met him before, but you have to be aware of him. He is in charge of all of the guards. So this man, he just strides forward. There are a few other guards with him, but they pale in comparison to the sheer size of this man. He steps forward, looks at you, Bani, and you can see he's looking at you with very stern eyes, which is. Again, you haven't had really a lot of, you don't get the chance to have a lot of communication with this guy. He is not the talkative sort. He has not really directly accosted you before, but he's looking at you with his stern eyes and he says, Bani, you are needed at the bungalow. I suggest making no sudden moves. I have no instructions to bring you in by force, so don't make.
So you see that Bani's expression, as happy and as like chilled out as she was talking to Bharat Dada, suddenly goes stone. She gives him serious side eye, and she sort of almost imperceptibly raises her chin a little and just grunts, sort of and sort of not bowing towards him, but also not making any sudden moves.
Right. All right. Enough of that. Get up. Hurry.
Hey,
We have to go.
hey, excuse me. Who do you think you're talking to? We're having chai.
Who do you think you are talking to?
Just Bharat, bro. And if
Bharat.
Bunny needs to finish her drink really quickly, then you'll have your drink and go, nah?
Huh? Chai? Most important
I will-
meal of the day?
I will come to you in a moment. Bani. Mabel, Mabel is gone.
What do you mean Mabel is gone?
Mabel is gone. We need to go. You need to go. You are in charge of her. You have her responsibility, and now she's gone. Get up. Let's go.
Bani's whole demeanor changes. She looks worried and she follows them wherever.
Yeah. So you get up and start on your way. He turns and then he turns around to face Bharat. He comes very close to you. How tall are you, Bharat?
How tall would he be? I'm trying to remember. 1900s.
19.
Yeah, probably like 5'11", probably.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have broken
yeah.
6.
No, but yeah, 5'11" is still
Yeah.
ridiculously tall for the time, and you are not a lanky person. You are built, but still, Hagrama definitely dwarfs you. He does break 6, and he has that kind of that sheer presence to him. That is even bigger than his stature. So he basically stands above you and he says, Bharat, I have heard of you. I've heard that you're a resourceful man, not afraid to get your hands dirty.
Bharat takes a piece of his chewing tobacco and goes back to chewing a new little piece in his mouth, and he's just like, you heard correctly. So, what's the catch? What's all this about? Must be related, no?
Yes, we do have a situation, and I believe you could help with it. There is a missing child. And finding her might involve busting some heads and wrapping some knuckles. Your line of work. Don't worry, there is going to be a reward. Although, me tolerating you plying your business here should be reward enough in my mind. But I'm sure Master Billingsley is going to adequately compensate you.
You see Bharat considers, nods, and when he says oh, me tolerating you should be a reward in itself, Bharat spits out his tobacco onto the small plate where the chai is usually served. Gets
Dang,
up.
it's like it does a clap.
Yep. Gets up, looses his shoulder. Says, okay, I'll let you believe that. Come, let's go see about this child, yeah?
But as you are about to go, your conversation, there are still people around, people from the village, and some of them do overhear it. And one of them, a man, looks older, perhaps a little too old to work in the fields, and that is why he is here. So he steps forward and he looks to Hagrama. He is you can see that his legs are shaking as he is standing. He is shaking. He looks terrorized but terrified, but he still kind of forces himself to speak, and he says, "Hey, what about our kids?" And Hagrama kind of just at first he doesn't even pay attention at all. He's about to escort you, the two of you, to the, and he just kind of brushes past them. And but then this man, this like little slight man, he stands in the way and like points a finger literally at Hagrama's face, like basically he's pointing it vertically up, but he's pointing it at his
Uncle, no! Uncle, please be
And-
careful!
Bharat, you
says-
seem to have changed your tune.
Uncle!
face. Still afraid, but he says, "You are worried about that one child that is missing from the bungalow. Our kids have been missing for weeks. What have you done to help us?" And like he starting with this tirade, but then again Hagrama like stops, looks at him, and he says, "Step back," in a voice that you would understand, Bharat. He does mean business. He is not touching him physically, but he just says, "Step back." Do you guys do anything to like intervene?
Bharat will intervene, but I think his means of intervening is just like he being smaller than this man, kind of just walks up to him, raises a hand, like chill a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. Let me do the talking. You're not doing a good job. And just walks up to this uncle. He says, "Uncle, these people won't handle your business. You know me? You know boss? Huh? You know my boss, huh?
I know you. I don't know your boss, but I know you.
Handle it."
I'm sorry. I still owe you money, but I have, my grandson is gone. Nobody is doing anything for them.
Don't worry. Bharat Dada is going to sort this. Hey, don't worry.
Are you really? Are you going to help us?
And remember that my boss's men will be watching out for y'all, yeah? Don't worry.
Okay. This is so. Please help us if you can. Can you talk to the owner, talk to Sahib on our behalf? Can you talk to Sahib and have him help us, please?
Bharat will reach a shoulder, squeeze reassuringly, and just like nod that he will do it. He doesn't say out loud that he's going to do so, but he just nods.
So I mean, the city's situation does seem to have diffused for a little bit. It's not like this old man had too much of fight in him, but for now you have like kind of satiated whatever.
This is for his sake.
This is for his sake, yes.
Agama's fine.
Yeah,
This man I'm worried about.
So
He can't pay my boss back if he's dead.
yeah.
You know.
So like when he accosted Hagrama first, there were a few other villagers there, but they were not really involving themselves in this fight. But then now that he seems to have calmed down a little bit, some of them kind of come and like hold him and like kind of take him back, and you can see that this man, you might remember his name, Bharat, from your interaction before. His name is Mukut. So the some of the other villagers, they kind of like grab Mukut and like kind of console him gently and like kind of take him away. One of the people who was not there before but emerges, and you would definitely be familiar with her, Bharat, perhaps Bani as well. This tall, muscular woman with like these short sleeves, and you can see like there are tattoos on her hands, very short cropped hair, and Bharat, you know of her as like kind of the local troublemaker and like rabble rouser kind of a person. Her name is Tapti. She also like comes and puts her hand on Mukut's shoulder, and moment she does that, Mukut like kind of bursts out crying. It's like all of the welled up emotions. It's just like the dam breaks, and like he kind of holds on to Tapti and like starts crying profusely. And as you, the rest, all of you, Hagrama, Bani, Bharat, you start making your way towards the bungalow. You can see that Tapti is like kind of looking intently at you guys, and it's kind of a stink eye. That is what she's giving you right now, as you make your way up. So basically, all of you have been summoned by various means, by various people, and eventually, all of you make your way up to the bungalow. So you see it from a distance, and from a distance, it does appear to be luxurious. It's this single-story building, which with a very steep tin roof, and there's quite a bit of like you have to climb a bit to get up to there because it is set on top of a hill. But you'd know that you would get like fantastic views of the entire tea estate from up there. But as you get closer, you can see that there is this sense of decay and melancholy. Like as if it is like a mere shadow of its former glory. There is this lawn and flower garden up front, but then it seems like it is overgrown with weeds. There is this another smaller greenhouse, not a greenhouse that Dr. Bhattacharya was working on, but another greenhouse, but then several of its panes are missing. The house itself is covered with dead creepers and black marks left buried. And it just stands, and it is still raining, it is still misty, so it just stands there like this old decrepit thing waiting to die. So all of you are escorted to this bungalow, and you are asked to sit in the veranda. I will, on Roll20, I'll show what the bungalow looks. No, actually, it's not what the bungalow looks like. It is more of a map of the bungalow. So basically, you are taken to the veranda over here, and it is there are lots of plants in planters, but then again, the growth is not great. There is also like there's a wide open space with many potted plants. There's this columns, very colonial style wooden columns with like sculptural work on them. But then several of the plants are dying. There are several trophies of antelopes and other animals. There is even a rhino among them. But there are like furniture made out of rattan, which are placed outside, and you are like shown those seats for you to sit. Do you all do that?
Yeah. Also.
Right. So I mean, Nong Khun, I suppose, is unfamiliar to the rest of you, but the other three in this group perhaps have met each other before. Bani, you know that Professor Bhattacharya has been here for some time. It's been over a month that you have seen him around, and yeah, but I think Bhattacharya has some old debt with Bharat. Bit of an older connection.
I'd like to think that even though Dr. Bhattacharya is only like what 8 years older than Bharat, like it's not that much. Bharat still calls him uncle. It checks in on you like whenever it's just like hi, like and when he like arrives, he's like, "Oh, hi, uncle."
Bharat, I've told you so many times. You don't have to call me uncle. Please.
You're like an
You can drop
uncle,
me.
no?
No, I don't. Really, it's okay. It's unnecessary. You can call me doctor. Professor.
Doctor.
No? Okay. Never mind then. Bani, nice to see you here. How come
Professor?
you're not at the house already with Mabel?
This man came and got me. They're saying Mabel's gone. I don't know what that means, but
Oh, so I hope she didn't go running around the tea estate. It's the vast. She can get lost there.
I mean, she's not supposed to. She's not allowed to go running around by herself. That can't be what's happened. I hope that's what's happened, but
I hope not. But I'm sure even if there's something, maybe they can hire people to find her. Maybe they can get like some guard dogs to sniff and find her if she's lost. No,
I don't know,
I'm
Baba,
sure
but I hope they
I'm
find
sure
her
she's
soon.
fine. I'm sure she's fine. She's probably in one of the back rooms and nobody knows. Or she may be playing hide and seek with her dolls or something. Don't worry. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I just want to know what is going on. Why have they called us here?
Good question. Why would they have called me if Mabel is, I don't know, missing or something? It must be something else. It must be like something wrong with the plants or something. The
Missing?
greenhouse is in disrepair.
You think she's missing?
Well, I don't know.
I think when you say missing, Bharat like makes a face because even though he was like just trying to soothe over the old man earlier, like there's definitely like other kids have gone missing though. This is either a big coincidence or a terrible pattern. And he's not a man that typically believes in coincidences. So he's just kind of like his face like darkens a little bit.
But you're not saying
All
this out loud yet.
No. But I think like Bani and like would especially Bani would know that he's like Bharat doesn't look like a man who uses his brain cells that much, and he's using a lot of brain cells right now. He's like deep in thought, and his expression darkens.
As you situate yourself on these chairs outside, a tea tray is brought out to you with a selection of teas from this estate itself. And as you wait, as you cast your eyes around, Nong Khun, for a moment, you watch this trophy, this head of a massive stag with this massive antlers right above the entrance, the main entrance of the house. And as you watch this stag, almost mesmerized by its sheer size, suddenly one of its eyes, which is supposed to be glass eyes, it moves and looks directly at you. A moment later, a worm wriggles out of that eye socket. Just then, there is the door opens with a flourish, and this English gentleman strides out. Most of you, of course, are familiar with this man. Perhaps not Nong Khun so much, but this is Lord Alcott Billingsley. He is this tall, perhaps a little bit shorter than Bharat, but tall for his time Englishman, who it is little difficult to tell really how old he is. He always carries himself with a lot of youthful energy, but right now he seems very frazzled. He is wearing this kind of frayed house coat. He has this very white hair, which is typically very well styled and well combed, but right now it is kind of frazzled, frizzy all over the place. He comes out, and so as he comes out, do you guys stand, or do you keep? Yeah. Which would
Also stand.
I believe would be the custom,
Yeah.
but right.
It's a very lazy stand, but he sure is standing.
Yeah, not all the way, just your ass off the seat a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Bani just hits his shoulder, so he
Definitely, you definitely are like faster, and he's like, okay.
So yeah, he comes in. He looks at you like a very cursory glance, and again you can see that he's on edge. He says, "Yes. Good morning. Please be seated. Not you. You keep standing." He says, pointing a finger directly at Bani. You stand. I'm afraid I do not have time for pleasantries, so I'm going to get right down to the point. My daughter, Mabel, has been missing since this morning. Last I saw her, I was kissing her goodnight in her own room, and she's gone. My men are looking all over her, all over the garden for her, but I fear that brute force is not the way. There are some strange things that we have found around the room. So that is why I have called all of you here. Professor Bhattacharya, you have a scientific mind, and I don't know, this might require a scientific approach. You are Bharat, I have been told, and I have been told that you're good at convincing people to talk. No one is above suspicion in this, especially you, Bani. You were responsible for her. You had a responsibility, and now she's gone. If we are doing this, I would have all of you keep her in your eyes at all time. And you are a reporter, I'm told, some sort of a journalist.
Yep.
I do not know why you are here, and I do not care why you are here. You are doing this now. You're working for me. You are looking for my daughter.
I do not. I mean, as much as I'd like to work for an Englishman, as you like to believe, if it is possible, and I'm very sorry for your loss. I really am, but I have some things in mind. I have a deadline to do, and if I'm very grateful that you have offered me tea. And I'd like to go out, since you really don't care why I'm here. So I go out and leave this thing to you.
No. I want you on this case. I want you looking for my daughter because you have investigative skills, I hope, of some sort. You call yourself a journalist. You call yourself, what, a reporter? Report on this. Find my daughter. You are doing this. You do not have a choice. You never had a choice from the moment you set foot inside my garden.
Okay, then I'll have a couple more biscuits, and if it is possible, I would also like to have one more cup of tea.
Yes, this is a tea estate, as you can see. You can have all the tea you want.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. If you can find my daughter, I will have a he looks behind, and like there are a few of his staff members that are standing behind him, and one of them kind of whispers in his ear and says, "Yes, 1,000 rupees for the four of you. That's the reward."
I let loose a little breath of air, and my mustache just flutters a bit in the
Yeah. That's more than a year's salary for you, Professor Bhattacharya. Not to mention, like, for the others, it is quite a huge sum.
Yep. Bharat makes a face of like, that is good money. And it's just like, certainly, your daughter was missing last night itself, missing, or just this morning?
I do not know when exactly it happened because I saw her to sleep last night. And this one, Bani, she is supposed to look for her in the morning, but she was nowhere to be found as well. I had to send Hagrama to fetch her.
It is. Bani is really sort of shell-shocked being facing this ire, because she has faced ire for many things in this household, but certainly not the welfare of Mabel. So I think after she gets over her shock, she says, "But I'm not the. I haven't seen her this morning either."
Exactly my point.
It's not. I don't see her in the mornings. I saw her only after you did, and then I left the room shortly after you did.
Could you make what role would this be? Persuasion?
Let's Let's persuade the Englishman. Persuade. Where are you, persuade? Aha! I have rolled a 23, which is a success.
Is a success. Okay. So, I mean, you can see that he is not entirely convinced yet by your argument. He will have to figure out the logistics of exactly what went when. But for now, his ire, which was focused on you, is partially diminished, at least. He says, like, he kind of like comes off that topic a little bit, and he says to addressing all of you that. Right. So Mabel, she's 8 years old. Born in the morning. I can show you to her room if you'd like. You can do your whatever investigation over there. We have. It's just me, my wife, and my daughter. That's all we have. My wife has been keeping ill for some time. That is why we had Bani to take care of Mabel. And now, if we don't find, so it seems like suddenly he appears to be much smaller, as it seems like he's contemplating the full extent of this. If this turns out to be a loss, the ramifications of that, he is like kind of thinking about it for the first time, even. So. You can see that he like kind of physically just shrinks a little bit, and he kind of stumbles over his words a little bit. He and like what he's saying is, I do not know what I will do if I. No. We will not think about any of that. It's just been a few hours. We can find her. We will find her, and I have given you your jobs. If you want, I can show you to her room. I do not think you will find much else in this house, but yes, you have your jobs.
Certainly. My good sir, please do not give in to despair so quickly. She is but 8 years old, and they are prone to playing pranks and doing all sorts of mischievous things. She might just simply be hiding for the fun of it. Do not worry so much.
That's not my daughter. That's not Mabel. Sometimes I wish she would play pranks. She would have fun, but it perhaps it is just the circumstances. Perhaps it is the environment. Perhaps it is her mother not being able to speak with her. But she has always been this quiet child. She is not one for running away without reason.
Have you told Priscilla, madam?
Yes, he has come to know. Unfortunately, it was not me who broke the news to her. And, well, things have taken a turn for the worse. So. But we will get through this, as we are the Billingsleys. These things will not defeat us.
Of course, my lord. I can take them to Mabel's room if you are tired.
It's all right. I can come with you. I will show you to the room at least. And like he gets up, but just then you hear another voice coming from inside. A woman's voice. Auntie, is that you? And you see this older-looking woman. Looks significantly older than Alcott. Come out. Bani, of course, you know of her as Dottie. She is Alcott's sister, and believe it or not, younger sister. But yeah, she does look significantly older. She is. Her clothes are quite disheveled. Her hair is like kind of all over the place, like strands of hair falling over the face. And Bani, you know that she has it what in our times we would call like developmental disabilities. But she has difficulty communicating with people. She has certain like obsessions, and two of our obsessions are her son, uh, uh, Edwin, and collecting just basically random trinkets. So if you have gone to her room occasionally, people don't go there often, but it's full from floor to ceiling with this like trinkets of all kinds. But then she also has a son, Edwin. But then Bani, that Edwin has been missing for about 3 months now. But at this moment, Dottie, she walks outside, and she is like constantly calling out as she walks outside, Edgy, are you back? Is that you? But then as she comes out and sees that it's not her son, Edwin, it's like a few strangers and her brother, her face like goes ashen immediately. Alcott looks to her and says, Dottie, just go to your room. Edwin is not here yet. I'm sure we will find him. Do not have to be here. We have other concerns right now. Just go to your room. Dottie seems a little bit lost for a bit. She like turns around, turns back, but then whatever Alcott says, it's like she is obeying it without question, and she just again like kind of shrinks and then walks back into the house, unless like any of you want to ask her something or talk to her. But then otherwise she's walking it back to the house.
Would Bani know, or what would Bani know about Edwin, like how Lord Billingsley views Edwin? He doesn't seem very attached to Edwin.
Yeah, he never seemed quite attached to Edwin. Edwin is significantly older than Mabel. He is about 23 years old. He did go to university, but then he came back. He is a very studious kind of a fellow. In fact, Professor Bhattacharya, now that you hear the name Edwin, it might like strike you that you did have a student once whose name was Edwin a few years back, and he seemed very bright. He seemed like somebody with a very bright future, but he never really completed his education. Like in the 4th year, he just with one day just up and left, and you never heard from him again. But at this moment, Bani, you would know that about 3 months ago, there was some kind of incident. There was what seemed to be an accident within his room. You have never been to his room. He would never allow anybody to get into his room, so you don't really know what's in there. But you heard this kind of a explosion, not a massive explosion, but you heard some kind of a burst coming from there at night. And the next day, the place was like covered in tarps, and you have not seen Edwin since then. Asking questions about him is not really encouraged in the household, so there has not really been any conversation about what happened to him. But yeah, that is as much as you know.
So is it possible to assume that the servants of the house though would have basically gossiped a bit after that and come up with some theories as to the aliveness of Edwin?
The Edwin's room is still forbidden for anybody to enter, and right now it is like covered in tarps basically.
Yeah.
So nobody has really seen inside of it what's going on in there. The prevailing theory is that he is gone. Like he is definitely like if there was an explosion, and this is not the first time that some of his experiments have resulted in injury of some sort. So it's the household staff, they do think that he is dead. Even they do not have like very strong feelings about it. Edwin is also somebody who does not really talk, does not really communicate a lot, but that is more so because he is always kind of immersed in his own studies.
Okay, and just to check, the woman who is sort of Mabel's governess, who is in charge of her education, is someone separate from Bani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is her name?
Janet.
Mrs. Janet.
Yes.
All right. She is somewhere in there, but you do not
I
see her
save.
yet.
Smooth as anything.
Right. So Alcott kind of walks in with his like fast strides. You first enter this foyer, which you can see at like over here, and it is fashioned into like it's this high ceiling room that is fashioned into this some kind of a rainforest. There are like it's covered in plants. There is even like a small pool with like a tiny waterfall and these lotus fronds and things like that. But somehow it smells like dead fish, this entire room. But you're quickly like Alcott quickly strides away out of this room, and as you come over here into this corridor, you can see that this last room towards the western side, it is indeed covered in tarps. Bani, of course, you know that is Edwin's room, but the rest of you also see that there is a room over there that is covered in tarpaulin, which is strange given that the rest of the house is like in pretty good condition, pretty good order. Edwin, like Alcott does not move that way, of course. He moves towards the east side and into this room over here. And when you enter it, you can see that it is predominantly pink and cream. This room, the wall, the paint job, the walls and shelves and everything, and there are the entire place is like there are racks, there are shelves all over on all the walls, and they are like stacked with soft toys of all kinds. Yeah, mostly that, and there is a bed. The bed seems like to have slept in. There is the bedclothes are ruffled up just a little bit. But yeah, that is what you see at first glance as you enter into this room.
I think Bani would straight away go to whatever she knows is Mabel's favorite stuffed toy and like pick it up and kind of hug it to her.
Which is strange because you know exactly where she keeps that stuffed toy, which is like right next to her bed. There is a small shelf where she keeps her toy. It is missing.
Ooh. Okay, I think I would. Yeah, I think Bani would point that out. I think I would say, but Mr. Snuggles is missing.
Yes.
He is always.
What's Mr. Snuggles?
Mr. Snuggles.
What's that?
It's Mabel's. I mean, it's just like if this was not 1903, Bani would be like, "You don't know Mr. Snuggles?" No, I just. So Bani's like, Mr. Snuggles is. It's Mabel's favorite toy right now. I mean, she has been obsessed with the thing. She won't go anywhere without it.
The purple one with the tentacles. That
yes. Mr. Snuggles. He has a name.
It's missing.
Yes.
Right. It's missing. It's missing. Whoever. All right. If somebody took Mabel, why would they take the toy as well? That
doesn't make sense, right? So then probably nobody took Mabel. You shouldn't worry. He must have taken it and gone to play with it.
We still have to find her. So that is what I'm
we
hoping
will.
we do.
We will. Let's look around this more logically. We know that she was here last night. The window's open. Can I see if the window's out?
So you can see that there are the one part of the room, it extends, and there are like these large bay windows that cover that entire part of the wall. Like the three sides, they are like covered. Like it's like a very tall, almost French windows that cover the place. And you go there and you see that none of the windows are open. They are all like latched.
They're latched from the
inside.
From the inside.
Would Bani notice any of Mabel's clothes missing, aside from the ones that she was wearing at night?
You can look through her the closet, and Alcott will not stop you from doing that.
Hmm.
I would like you to roll a spot hidden.
Okay. I
Are there
have
any other?
extreme success. Bani has rolled a
man.
2.
Whoa.
Amazing.
Heck yes.
I mean, good rolls.
My
Bani got
God, one
skills.
off.
Good that you are dispensing with all of your good rolls right now.
Oh, no.
Good for me. But you look through the clothes. They are all neatly folded. Some of the folding you have done yourself, and you are familiar with the kind of clothes she has. I mean, merely because there is not much else to do. You do spend a lot of time with Mabel, almost your entire day. So you are intimately familiar with the goings on in her life. And looking through the stack of clothes on the wardrobe, you can see that. I mean, it doesn't look like any particular ones are missing. It's like whatever she was wearing while she was asleep, that is all she left with. Or, I mean, if she was taken, that is all that was taken.
Okay, so I point that out, and I say that none of her play clothes or the clothes that she wears during the day are missing. She must have, wherever she is, she must still be wearing. Oh, this poor child. Hope she's all right. She must still be wearing what she was wearing when Lord Bellingsley and I saw her last night. And I tucked her in. Lord Bellingsley said good night. I don't understand. Where could she go? She's a child. Where could she go?
What about her shoes? Are they missing? Did she put on shoes and go? Or
would Bani, with her extreme success skills, know that?
Yeah, the shoes are also there. Right there. All of her shoes are right there.
Nothing is missing. Bani says, sorry, I'm Bani. Mabel is not here. The clothes she slept in are not here. Mr. Snuggles, not here. Everything else seems to be exactly where it was when I saw her last, when I saw this room last.
Bharat is going to move across the room, and the windows. This is not on the ground floor, right? I just wanted to confirm where this was in height. Is it on the ground floor or is it higher up?
It's a single story house, but then the base of it is a little uneven. So over here, the ground does drop off a bit.
Okay.
So
the
window
a height
is at least like 10 feet above the ground.
The child is jumping down there. If they're jumping, and he's looking out the window, and the room just seems like a normal bedroom, right? There's no I don't know, unveil the carpet, there's claw marks or something. There's no signs of struggle or that a presence of someone else being here, like mud on shoes. If this was an outsider right. The window.
Okay. So you are meticulously going around the room and looking for any clues that you can find, basically. That will also be spot hidden.
Spot hidden. Okay. Time to open up my boy sheet. I think I'm okay at spot hidden. I've got 50. Let's see. 29, so I believe that's a success.
That's a regular success.
Regular success.
It does not appear to be there doesn't appear to be any sign of struggle. There are rugs and carpets that are strewn on the ground, but it seems like that's how they have been placed. That's where they have always been. Near one of the near the bed, basically, near one of the, what do you call it? The stump stand of the bed on the ground. Post, that's the word. Yes, near one of the posts, you see on the ground there is some traces of ash, which is something that is a little strange.
She's
But other than that, nothing else stands out to you.
I will sniff the ash. Does the ash smell like incense? Does it smell like cigarettes or tobacco?
It is not tobacco for sure. It is also not incense. I will have you make a natural world or medicine check.
I know nothing about
What if she's burning like poppy and shit?
this child. Okay.
I mean,
I hope
you
not.
know,
Don't blame the
Zero.
children.
8 here.
Wow,
they
I have
start out
a
young these
I have
days.
a 1 in medicine.
A 1. Well, you
I
can
have a
try.
1.
Or
Can you
natural
ask
world.
me?
That is another option.
Sorry, what?
Or natural world. Either.
Oh,
of them.
natural world. Hold on, let me double check what that is. I can't find the natural world part.
It's just
there it
under
is,
medicine.
10.
Typically.
Oh, I mean, no, that's not gonna do it. That is a 32, and my natural world is a 10, so
So
that's a failure.
It is a failure. There is some ash there in the corner. That's about it.
I think Bharat will like look at Bani and just be like, "You all burn things here?"
Burn things. Why would we burn things? This is a child's room.
And he picks it up, and he like holds the
And
ash
Bunny
like in his
crosses the
fingers.
room. Crosses the room to. It is not unusual to see ash in Bharat's fingers, but not that kind of ash. So Vani's like, eh? What? She looks at the other two, and
Shanath and Nong.
Can I take a picture of this?
Vishwanath and
What kind of camera do you have, Nong?
That is a terrifying
I,
question.
As all of this is happening, and all of them are engrossed in the conversation, I have already taken out from my sling bag. I've already taken out this sort of a Fuji optical camera, which is like rickety. It works, but like it only works in the hands of who knows how to make it work. It's a nasty old instrument, and so I have taken it out. It's like a very, very thin camera. It's very thin, very rickety. It's like it has tape marks all over it and all. So I am trying to. I've already taken out the camera, and I was like, can I take a picture of this? And meanwhile, I've already not covertly as such, but I have already like a couple of room and all. I presume Lord Bellingsley. I don't know what his reaction was with this, but I was clicking pictures of everything, and then. Like when they were talking about the ash, I was like, can I take a picture of this? And I'm like, can you show it to me? I'm ready to click a picture of this.
Right.
Yeah, Bharat just brings his hand closer to your lens. Definitely like too close for you to be able to focus on it, so you have to like move his hand a little further out.
Okay, just a little bit back, Okay.
Billingsley watches you.
guys continue.
Right. Do your investigation for a bit, but then one of his assistants comes, the same guy who was whispering in his ear earlier. He comes in and he whispers again in his ear, and he says, I'm afraid I'm being called away. I will let you continue your investigation on your own. I will see you in a while. And he leaves the room and just leaves the four of you in there. So, you have you have taken a picture of the ash and just the room in general, but you will have to. It'll take a little while to get them developed and things like that to really see what they will show. What about the rest of you? What is doctor? What is the? Is it doctor or professor, or both?
Sure. Yes.
What is Professor Doctor Bhatta doing?
Yeah. Professor Dr. Uncle Biswanath Bhattacharya.
Professor Dr. Uncle is my father.
You know who I am or not?
Since I have seniority here, apparently. You don't do any puja or anything here, right? You don't burn any like, incense, agarbatti.
Who are you asking this?
I'm asking Bani.
Oh, no. So yeah. So my reaction is the same as it was. Basically, no. I mean, this is a child's room. Why we don't? There is no. They don't allow all this agarbatti and stuff in
It's
here.
good for the child also. It cleanses the air.
So many times I've told him I want to, like make sure she's safe. Nothing they allow.
May I look at that ash, please, if that's all right?
Please.
If it's from a plant or
What is
something, maybe
this?
I can identify it.
You're
Does it
sniffing
smell
it.
like anything that's in my pipe ever?
Have I smoked this? Like, have I smoked this track?
This is pretty much what I'm asking.
Botanicals.
A game that Dr. Uncle plays often. Have I smoked this?
Have I smoked this? I will also have you roll either natural world or medicine or any other role that you think would be relevant.
I have botany. I have medicine. Let me roll medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, I have natural world also. It's the same. 003. So that's 3, right? That's like a super good success.
Yeah. Super good success, regardless of what your score is, I suppose. Unless it is 1.
No, it's 71 and
Right. That is
Oh my
that is
god.
a very, very heavy success, which lets you know that the ash that you just sniffed, I hope you didn't take a lick of it as well, or did you?
Now that you're saying it, I'm tempted.
I mean, you are a researcher, you are a professor. That's your research.
I will have
For
first
science.
sniffed. And then if I could not figure out, then I would have like
Just take a
making
lick
sure
of it.
nobody's looking. Making sure nobody's looking, I turn my back.
Yeah.
Just check.
You are suspicious when you sniff, but then your suspicions are confirmed when you take a little taste of this. This is definitely the burnt remains of some creature, but there is a very good chance that it's a human being.
What? What?
What?
Your you roll 3 on a 71, so you have a good a strong suspicion that burnt remains of.
Session
Yes,
1, sanity 0.
Should what?
I very inconspicuously just turn my palm around so that the ash falls on. Just like, yeah, the strange thing, it's got a very earthy scent, like a very meaty scent. I think this is a human.
Huh?
What?
What? What are you saying?
I would like to think that like Bharat immediately they're not like speaking in English, obviously, like we're speaking our language, and Bharat is just like, what are you saying?
Babu,
What?
listen, hear me out. It's not like I'm okay. I didn't think it was this, but I mean, honestly, from the smell only, and only from the smell and nothing else, I could definitely tell this thing is organic but not plant. Therefore, if it is organic but not plant, it stands to reason it is animal. Now, animals also have particular scents, and this scent seems to be veering more towards the primate Homo sapiens side.
Important question is, have you smoked it?
Science.
I have now.
Is it
It's the first time for
cannibalism?
anything.
Is it cannibalism if you smoke it? Yeah, let us know in the comments.
No, please don't let us know in the comments. I don't want to know.
Please.
Discuss.
God.
Anyways, the point being, I really do think that this is something humanish, but it's too little to be a person, right? It's too little to be a whole person. Right?
Yeah, just some traces of that.
And
It's
there's no like
fine.
bird marks,
Ash.
right? On
No
the
bird
ground.
marks.
Yeah, so
Maybe
like
it's just
go ahead.
no, maybe it's ashes, right? Maybe it's just the remains of somebody.
Child's room.
Names? Yeah,
No. I'm sorry. 1 second. No. Bani is going to extreme stress at this session, and so she turns to the professor, Dr. Uncle. I think we should add some letters every time we say her name.
like
Professor
my
Dr.
real name
Uncle.
isn't long enough.
Professor Dr. Uncle Bhattacharya, MD, MBBS. when when she turns to Professor Bhattacharya,
Yeah.
uh,
I think in
Bhattacharya.
Bengali it will be Bhattacharya, but
Huh.
yeah, I think it works either way.
So yeah, so she's just sort of looking like for reassurance that this is not the remains of a child. How do we find out who this is? Is this no.
No,
There is
no, no. It can't.
there's no place where would they have burnt someone. There is no evidence of a fire. They don't let me light agarbatti also. Now somebody has come and like destroyed some. What is this, Ash? Who is it?
Bani. Breathe.
Bani. This is
Okay.
a lot of stress for you, obviously, and your sanity is not very not too great to begin it. So, do you think all of this would trigger a sanity check? I'm asking you.
I mean, probably, to be fair.
Human
Yeah.
remains and
Yeah.
everything. So, roll me a sanity check.
Oh God. Watch how the roles change now. Let's see. Sanity. Oh. What have I rolled? Of course. My sanity is 30. I have rolled a 31.
Right.
Oh my god.
Let's
So
go.
this might be a good place to introduce the concept of luck points. You also have a luck score, right? But then those are also expendable resource, basically luck points that you can use to improve your rolls.
Yeah.
So whatever amount of luck that you have currently, you
Mhm.
can take away some of it, add it to your score. So for example, now you have a roll a 31 for a 30. You can take one luck point away from your luck score and make it into a success by turning that 31 into a 30. But then that luck is kind of deducted
Please.
from your overall luck score.
Please take
Are
my
you-
luck.
You are using your luck point to turn that
Yes.
into a success at this point.
Whoops.
Right? I am very
Yes.
sad to hear that, but no matter. You use your one luck point to turn
It's like the
that.
quiet principled victory that you had a failure in session 1.
Sooner or later. Only 30 sanity. But you have used one luck point
Yeah.
to turn that failure into success. For now, you were about to kind of retreat within yourself, just with all of these things like kind of bearing down on you, but somehow you managed to stay where you are, managed to stay in the real world, and yeah, you are still with us. We have found some traces of human ash. Alcott Billingsley is not in the room at this moment. It's just 4 of you, and the door is open. So if you see outside, you can see that it's mostly empty. The house. You walked across this corridor. You saw that over here was the barricaded room. This room, Bani, that is where Dottie lives. This particular room. It's kind of a hoarder's paradise inside of it. Regardless, you know that this room is the library. You might not have really been there often, but yeah, this room is the library that on the other end leads to like a back veranda, but there's not much there. These 2 rooms over here are guest rooms, which are used occasionally when there are guests coming, but most of the time they remain closed. This room over here is like kind of a sitting room, drawing room, as they used to call them. Again, they are used to entertain VIP guests and people of that sort, but otherwise they remain closed. This is Mabel's room, of course, where you are in right now. This room over here, right next to Mabel's room, is Lady Priscilla's room. In fact, that is the master bedroom of the house. That is where, Lady Priscilla and Lord Alcott's room. And this here is just a bathroom, like the master bathroom of the house.
Water closet.
Yeah. Over here, these 3 smaller rooms are just kind of the servant quarters. You also live within those rooms. It's just 3 rooms that are shared between a total staff of 8. And of course, one of them is occupied by Comerford on his own. So it's like 2 for 7 people. So it's a bit crowded, but you all manage. And over here, this particular room is a makeshift observatory that has been created for Edwin, basically. But then
Hmm.
now Edwin has been missing, so it's like kind of cobwebbed and in a state of disrepair at this point. So you know the layout of the house, you know where the rooms around her, and all of you see that it looks pretty empty. So yeah, where would you like to go from here?
Can I just clarify, because like half the screen was roll 20, so I didn't see. I didn't see where Dottie's room was.
Dottie's room is this one.
Okay, and so Edwin is what used to be here.
Yeah, the last room.
Okay, and these three are the
servant
servants. So is one of them where I would be, or I'm not important enough for this?
No, so you do occupy one of them along with a few other people.
Okay. Would I be in this room because it's a clear passage to Mabel's room, or like as in basically which room is connected to the observatory?
No, so there is a corridor. This it's not really a corridor. This is a open. Like there is no wall here. It's just a long line of columns.
Okay.
That it's like a very long veranda at the back as well, all the way. So that veranda kind of leads to the observatory directly.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
You guys have like investigated Mabel's room, and you have found as much as you were going to find there. So what do you want to do?
So I think when Bani sort of calms herself down, or tries to calm herself down, she would turn to the esteemed journalist and say, you write for newspapers and things. Have you seen this sort of thing before? Do you know where we find such ashes?
I've seen a lot of human. Well, I've seen a lot of human ash. Will die every day. But I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think I can help you in terms of finding whose ash this. But I don't know. Does this whole situation seem weird to any of you? I mean, I'm all for making friends and meeting new people, but does it not feel, I don't know, but we have been just picked out, to use a very crass metaphor, picked out like leaves from the tea garden and just put it into this hot boiling pan of water. We have to look for Mabel. I'm sorry for that loss, of course. But we hear that there's another sort of a child also, not child, but like another grown ass man sort of missing of this house. Do we
months ago?
Yeah, apparently 3 months ago, and I mean, if you connect one and on together, the Sahib's bungalow, 2 of Sahib's children, quote unquote, are missing. And there's human ash. So
not just the Sahib's kids. Bharat speaks up. And he like looks at Bani a little apologetically, because we're actually friends. And he's just kind of like, the people here have mentioned that the children have been missing for weeks. Too much coincidence.
Bani
And
Bani turns to Bharat and says, Bharat Dada, you don't think, but those children, we haven't seen them again since they went missing. We haven't seen them again. You think the same thing's going to happen to me?
Bani, you yourself just said her clothes are here. Like the rest of her clothes are here. Shoes are here. Girl is not adventurous. Girl, she's not gonna climb out the window, no. And then this I don't know, something very strange about this.
She's a child. That Edwin at least was a man. Who knows what he did? Maybe he's there. Maybe he's just not there anymore. But this Mabel is a child.
Anyone in the house here usually comes to this room? No, right? Anyone other than you?
I mean, her parents, me, people who bring food, but she's never without supervision. Nobody would allow a stranger to just walk into her room. It's not. I mean, I don't see how. Do you think? Okay, I mean, okay, don't, Bharatata, don't take this the wrong way, okay, but you will know how people sneak around places at night. Do you think it's possible to sneak into this place at night?
Don't take
Don't take it the wrong way.
Don't take this the wrong way. You prowl around, right? Like, is this prowlable
Just between
territory?
friends. Just between friends. What are the vibes you're getting from this prowling territory?
Val, observing this and looking at this through Bharat's eyes would probably say no, because this is an estate. But I will look to the GM to ask if this requires a roll for me to determine.
I am looking at what role would be applicable here. Prowling. There is no prowling.
Prowling. Would
There must be
I think there's
stealth,
like a
right?
survival. There's like a stealth and survival.
There is a stealth. I think stealth would be good. Like, this is more knowledge of stealth, but yeah, still. I think that would
stealth.
be
Cool.
Stealth expertise.
I don't have stealth expertise, but it's not bad.
What
This
kind of
place
gangster
can be
you are?
broken into.
Yeah.
Okay, so my stealth is 40. I rolled a 14.
Oh, that's a hard
in-
success.
I was like, the name of the in-between success.
Yeah, that's it's hard. And so, I mean, you are not stealthing per se. You are looking at opportunities for stealthing. And there is only one entrance into this room. There is a bathroom, there is a closet, but there are no exits there. This entrance is like serviced by 2 corridors, so that there is a weak point there, and all of this is open. However, you also know that there are regular patrols over here. The guardsmen, they are there during the day, they are there during the night. So it is not going to be impossible for somebody to perhaps. So again, the ground over here is at least 10 feet below. It's like almost like a cliff face that falls down and then all the way down. It is not impossible for somebody to climb all the way up that cliff, then climb up onto this veranda and then go into this room. It will be very, very difficult. Not impossible, but quite difficult.
And we haven't looked at the cliff area yet, right? Okay. I think Bharat will communicate that. But then as he's like explaining this, he's kind of like, he wants to like communicate like, yeah, like, do you know how desperate and hardworking you have to be to use that? Like that is a method of someone driven, right? So like if that is the angle we want to look at this at, then the person we're looking for is driven.
But someone driven only will take a child. No, what? Some casually they'll come and leave some ashes in the child's bedroom.
Opportunists exist.
What is this, Bharatala?
Nongun, you also know something about children disappearing from the village, from the village.
Yeah, I know.
Did receive a
I
letter.
don't know.
Yeah.
So, like as soon as Bharat said, sort of said that what do you call it? That there's some other children missing as well or something. My eyes sort of lighted up, but I am saying it casual. I'm not mentioning it at all. I mean, if somebody was very keenly looking at me, they would see that they're like sort of eyes just light up for a second. And as they're sort of having this conversation, I'd be like, very sorry to like intrude on your conversation, but Bani, I mean, how well liked is our patron Lord Billingsley around these parts?
Okay, so just to confirm, the Lord Billingsley is left, but his muscle is still in the room, right?
No, it's just
It's
the four of
just
you at this
just
moment.
us.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the other question is, given given that Bani has a position in an estate household, I would assume she would address Nong Khun as Beta, but I could also go Mr. Khun. What do you think? Just as an aside. Okay.
Anything is fine.
And what would you think Bani would say about in response to this?
How well liked is Lord Billingsley?
Yeah.
He is just the figurehead, like the symbol of all the oppression that goes around. He is like the greatest symbol that, at least for the people in the workers, because it's not like they don't know much of the outside world, outside of this estate. Most of them have never set foot outside the estate. So many of them were just born here and have been working since they were 10 years old, working 18 hours a day sometimes, and living in like extremely cramped conditions, fighting debilitating diseases, and with no relief whatsoever from the management. And at this moment, the feelings have been like incensed tenfold because of the things that have been going on recently. And Lord Billingsley stands on top of this with his aloofness, with his sheer disregard for the pains of the people. So yeah, what do you think how highly regarded he would be given the situation?
I would say to in response to Nong Khun's question, he is not important to me. And in the village also, if you go and ask, nobody's hangs his picture on the wall. Let us make that very clear. Okay, this man gives us, not out of any kindness from his own heart, some employment. So take from that what you will. You are a learned journalist, please take from that what you will. But I just want to say that I care very much for Mabel. I have seen her as a baby, but the amount of concern he wants us to show for his child is not anything like the concern that he has shown for the children who... There are children who have gone missing from our villages on the estate, and he's not shown any concern for them. Nobody in this household has. Nobody with any kind of power to do anything has shown any kind of concern. So I care very much for Mabel, but I'm finding that this little bitter in the taste in the mouth. Like that face that professor made when they ate the ash.
I object very strongly to that. I did not eat that at all. I just brought it extremely close to my nose and sniffed it, and that was it. That was all. That was the extent of it. But to your point, this is very concerning that there are children from your families also which have been missing. Has this happened recently? I haven't heard enough about this. How long ago did it start happening?
Uncle at the chai shop said his grandson was missing a few weeks. So I don't know if there's been a few that happened a few weeks ago and it's been quiet, or if there was consistently happening over these past few weeks.
It's very bad. Few weeks.
Might have to go and
not
check.
Done anything.
So I would at this point say Bani would pipe up and tell Nong Khun that you know who you should talk to. You should talk to this Tapti. She is so angry. You think we are angry. You go and talk to her. You know how angry she is about this. You think this Bharat Dada. Hey Bharat Dada, show your muscles. You think this is anything? You have seen what this Tapti will say if you ask her about this Bellingsley. You go ask. See what she says.
Nongkun, the letter that
Maybe
you
we
received
will-
was signed by Tapti.
Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay, maybe we should talk to her, but allow me to digress for a bit. And as Bharat Dada was making a point about someone being very driven. This point, of course, that point, but also apart from that, being very driven to sort of somebody has to be very driven to come in, like to even plan or think about kidnapping a child from estate of the owner. So I mean, I'm just proposing a theory here, and based on my experience, I mean brief, but I don't know. I'm just looking for opinions here. So you say the children in the villages have been missing for quite a few weeks, quite a few months, and the Lord Bellingsley, as benevolent as he may be, has not shown any concern. So, because it is not his child, not his children who have gone missing, do you think there's somebody is forcing their hand to make Lord Bellingsley care, not just for their own child who has gone missing, but the other children as well? Do you think this missing of Mabel has come as this been done by, what I'm suggesting is there's somebody from the village probably is acting out and very driven, is sort of has taken out Mabel, so that finally Lord Bellingsley, now that his own child has gone, give a stone scare to plight of the children in the villages.
Arey? I'm telling you, this Bellingsley is not giving us any concern, and you are turning it around and telling us that some villager must have come in here. Some person who works at the tea plantation. You think they have lots of time to roam around and kidnapping children and burning things in children's rooms? Do you know how hard these people work? You go to the village now only and you ask them. Bharat Dada, say something.
Bharat has been letting Bani talk
Yeah.
the whole time. like a younger relative that's like heard an older relative like called it. It's like this is like
You talk.
he's just kind of like
Exactly. Look at this.
I mean, I agree with both of you that I think we can't say that someone is not angry enough to try and do something this foolish, but it's so foolish though, like I don't know. Worth checking. But he looks at Bunny like, what worth checking? Just to make
let
sure.
us check everything. Let us check
For
everything.
their own protection only. For their own protection only. Because you know, if Nong Khun is making this conclusion, the Sahibs have probably already made this conclusion actually.
Oh, that's bad then.
Probably why they're asking us to go and snoop around, because they know if they start snooping around, it will be bad news. That's why they're asking us, because they have a feeling they probably already suspect it's the villagers.
I feel like they have asked the wrong person. I am a scientist. I'm not a investigative detective. Anything like that. I don't know how to find
Dr.
things.
Uncle, you just sniffed this a smoke and ash and told me that it smells like human. So I think actually best person for the job.
I would just like to point out I will not be sniffing and tasting things arbitrarily anymore. I will first ask people, and then maybe we can send samples to get them like tested or something before I sit and lick.
Why need to get them tested? We've got you.
Bharat! This is very unscientific. Okay, anyways, there seems to be nothing else in this room and we are not getting anywhere standing around. Bani, you know which other room did she like? Which room she liked to play? Besides.
Okay, so before I randomly make up something, Rajib, is there a room that she liked to play in?
She was also quite interested in the observatory, like Edwin. She would spend time there, but yeah, mostly there, and like the library there. She had started reading books that are quite above her like grade in terms of like. But yeah, it just seemed that she was in many ways taking after her cousin, older brother Edwin, in terms of how she found herself in these kind of pursuits. But as you are discussing all this, the possibility of what could be happening, what could go on, and where to go next, you all feel a presence of something around you, something unholy. I mean, that would be the best way to put it, even if you do not believe in holy and unholy things, because it's the there was the sky has always been clouded, but still there was light coming in through those windows. But suddenly those lights dim, and you find this. I'm sure static electricity has people know what static electricity is, 1903. But so your hair starts standing up as if there is this crackle of static electricity in the air. You all get this distinct smell of something very pungent and metallic at the same time in the air. You do not see anything around you, but it's you can just all of you can just sense somehow this presence, and then suddenly you see this again. You would know what static electricity is, so you would know how they spark and then like move from one point to other point. So you see those sparks forming, and those sparks kind of envelop what this almost like a figure. There is no other way of seeing this except for the sparks that form around it, and as it moves at first through you and then away from you, on the ground you see traces of ash, and it moves away from you all across this corridor, and again as it moves, whatever lights are there, they dim, and then like it gets almost dark, and this sparks of electricity, they just like form, and then shoot around to again give form to this shape, and then it goes in where Edwin's room is. It kind of disappears inside of that. This is even if you do not believe in any of this is definitely a supernatural encounter. You would believe it to be a supernatural encounter. That is not a great thing to have for your sanity, so I will have all of you roll sanity checks, please.
What just happened?
What was
You
that?
all saw that, right?
I mean, I felt it. What was that?
All right, I've got good sanity. Go on, Bharat.
I have rolled a regular failure.
A regular failure. Brilliant.
I rolled a 36. My sanity is 60, so it's just a
That is
regular
a-
success.
Success. What about Nong?
I rolled a 49. My this thing is I think 80. Anything?
Whoa.
So I
Whoa!
Very sane.
Why are you so
Very
sane for?
sane.
Yeah. Go
I'm
lick
just
some
young.
human remains once in a while.
Yeah.
And
You
what
coming in here
about
with your logic?
what about Professor Dr. Uncle?
I rolled a
MBBS.
6 and my sanity is 65. So I think
Wow,
that's
not bad,
probably
not
like
bad. Extreme success. So only Bani fails. We will know what happens with that failure when we meet next time.
No!
Oh,
I need to know what that
Oh my
was.
god.
Something will happen.
What?